Welcome to my weekly messages. I'm Jalala Starr. Today the topic is Ascension Symptom Update. I give these every so often when I notice that maybe there's Ascension symptoms that are not as prevalent, and of course there's new ones, and how they kind of connect with the events that are occurring in the world right now. So where do we begin? Oh my gosh. Well, you know, I've been on this path since 1996. That's kind of when I really started to awaken big time. It kind of started in 92, but really took off in 96. And that's when I first began to notice Ascension symptoms, and that's when I first started writing about them. Well, I've noticed over time that there's a whole series that seem to have subsided, replaced by a new series, now replaced by another series. And it doesn't mean that you don't once in a while revisit some of the old symptoms. It just means that most of the time you don't feel those anymore. So I've written, I think, 2 or 3 other updates on Ascension symptoms. So I would suggest you go to my articles area of the website at nibiruancouncil.com and read the Ascension updates, kind of give you an idea of the history and see where you are in the process. Because first of all, there's people who awakened back then who have gone through this progression if they stayed on the path and didn't go back and kind of fall asleep. And then there are those who are awakening now who are feeling those initial symptoms. Some are not feeling those, they're feeling the new ones. They are kind of avoiding some of those. So all these are possible. But here's what I've noticed lately. I went through, and I know a lot of my other friends are going through it at the same time. We went through a period where we were really struggling with mental cognizance, how do I even say that right now? Anyways, our ability, our cognitive skills were limited on days when we were experiencing major solar flares. We were having a lot of forgetfulness. We were having a lot of fatigue. We were having a lot of aches and pains. Weight gain used to be a big deal, but now it doesn't seem to be so much for those who've been around for over a decade. We seem to have gotten to a place where we're losing the weight now. In other words, we've recalibrated our frequencies so that we're more in tune with the planet, because the planet's rising. Every time you have a solar flare that hits the grids, what happens is the planet must reach the level of the vibration of the flares. And the sun is also changing. So every planet in the solar system is entrained to the sun. So wherever the sun is with its magnetics, wherever the sun is vibrationally or frequency wise, all the other planets have to be in alignment with that. So Earth is of course one of those planets. And so our planet is rising in frequency as the sun is. And when the sun spurts out another solar flare that hits our grids, causing us that whatever that new vibration is, we now must come in and we must now reach alignment with that. So here's the sun going up, here's all the planets going up. So every time you have a solar flare, you know, it may be at a little bit higher frequency, especially with its magnetics going to 0. And so we must come in alignment with that. It's that process of coming into alignment is what we're experiencing. And our bodies are carbon-based. They're still kind of lagging behind the frequency of the planet. So whatever's happening vibrationally, we're bringing stuff up, emotional trauma, whatever. Then that's what holds our frequency back. All of our fears, all of our stuck emotions are holding us down frequency-wise. So those are being triggered, and so that they'll bubble to the surface and we'll clear them and rise in frequency. So in the beginning, you know, you're obviously denser when you're on the spiritual path. You have a lot of baggage to clear. So you're going to have the heavier frequency problems of weight gain and sluggishness and lots of aches and pains and a lot of neck and shoulder pain. It's very typical in the beginning of the ascension process. And then you know, 5, 6 years later, you notice a lot of the aches and pains are gone. You still have fatigue, but you're not wiped out as much, and your brain starts to function a little bit better. And then now in this phase, we're noticing that, yeah, we can get our brains, it feels like scrambled eggs sometimes because we've got so much going on. But the amount of time it takes us to reach balance is getting less and less. I used to have to go and take a nap for an hour when my brain would get scrambled. And now I can take a 15-minute cat nap. Or I can just get away from the computer, go walk outside, go take a walk, and that will balance me. I don't necessarily have to go take a 15-minute cat nap. That's huge. Energy levels are better now. Overall, I seem to be able to handle a lot more energy. I don't have the aches and pains I used to have, you know, that are very indicative of fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue. In fact, those are part of Ascension symptoms for a lot of people, especially if they've gone too fast through their Ascension process. They're like, oh, I just want to go there as fast as I can. I want to keep going, keep clearing. And they are not really taking into consideration how much their inner child can handle or how much their body can handle, because emotional clearing is stressful to the body, especially to the adrenals, and they can end up with adrenal fatigue. So, I mean, all this is kind of interconnected, so I hope I'm not confusing you. But what we're noticing more and more now is lost time. It's like, not like time like you're abducted, lost time. It's like you wake up, it's 8 o'clock, and before you know it, it's 2 p.m. And then you're like, wow, where'd the morning go? You know, where'd the early afternoon go? And then before you know it, it's 6 o'clock. It's like time is really sped up. And cause and effect, whatever you're putting out, you get it back much more quickly on the negative side and on the positive side. So whatever you're putting out that you want, I've really gotten into the habit of saying to my guides, okay, this is what I want. And if I'm in a conflict, help me find the highest good in this situation. And the answers come very quickly. So cause and effect, from the time you put something out to the time it comes back, is very, very short now. So we're noticing that. So to recap, the things we're noticing now are we have more energy. We're losing a lot of the weight that we carried for the first phases of Ascension and the second phase of Ascension. It's just like the third phase of Ascension. And time is speeding up. We're noticing that's even more dramatic than it was before. And we're noticing that it doesn't take as long to get back to balance that like it used to. It used to like scramble us for hours when we get overwhelmed. It's like our senses we get sensory overload. Because so many things are coming at us so quickly with time speeding up. Emotionally, it just overwhelms us. So the scrambled egg effect is what I call it. It takes less to work through. In other words, just a 15-minute cat nap or just a walk or just getting away and kind of going and breathing helps a lot. So it's going to get more challenging as we get closer. We're going to have to do more and more clearing. Fortunately, all of us seem to have plenty of baggage to clear. That's all of our fuel for Ascension, so we're not lacking there. And it's going to feel like what the people in Japan are feeling. Like they're having a physical earthquake, we're having emotional earthquakes. But if you have the right tools and you have effective tools to clear, you've learned how to work with your inner child, you've learned, the value of breathing, yoga, just trying to relax, talking to your guides, communicating with your guides, asking them, putting the problem in their hands. That is amazing how quickly you get results. Those things are all going to help us keep going. So you've got to have your toolbox. And if you don't have your toolbox, then you need to get it and start filling it with all these tools that will get you through these phases. I and many other teachers have amazing tools that will help you through this time. And if you do that, remember, whatever frequency you're putting out that is higher than the rest of the people, you will help impact those people. You will help your family. You will help your friends. You will help your loved ones work through Ascension because they'll see you doing it. It's not what you're going to say. It's how you're going to act that's going to give them the role model they need. That will be the next topic, is talking about children in particular. Are our children ascending, and how can we best ensure that they get wherever they need to be? So talk to you next week. Have a good week. And for those of you who have signed up for the Emotional Clearing teleconference, we're still waiting to reschedule that. My engineer is still not really back to work yet, so for this particular thing, but I will get in touch with you. And if you want an emotional clearing retreat where you just come and work with me, you hang out, we have wine, we go talk, we cook, whatever, and you do your emotional clearing, which is, like to me, the ultimate way of doing it. Then give me a call. I do have dates available the end of April and the 1st of May. So that's it for today. Have a great one. Talk to you soon.